In problem number 31, it says find the roots of the equation x squared plus 7 equals 2x and express your answer in simplest a plus bi form. Okay, now because they're asking us to give our answer in a plus bi form, this should be a tip-off that we're not going to be able to factor this and write this in any nice fashion. We're going to have to use the quadratic formula, which last I checked, unfortunately, is not listed on your formula sheets. For most other states, it is listed on the formula sheets, but I guess for New York Regents, it is not. So we put this into standard form. That's our first step. X squared minus 2x plus 7 equals 0. All I did was I subtracted 2x from both sides. I'm left with 0 on the right, and then x squared minus 2x plus 7 on the left. Okay, and just to show you that you can't factor this into anything nice, equals 0. The only numbers that multiply to get 7 is 7 and 1, right? And we have x squared, so I know I need an x here, and I know I need an x here. We have a positive 7, so it could be negative and negative, right? That multiplies to positive 7, but then I would have negative 7x and negative x, and that's negative 8x, so that doesn't work. So the only other option would be plus and plus, but that gives us positive 7x plus positive x, and that gives us 8x. So again, we don't have this factor of 2x. That's just not in the cards for us. So this does not work. This is just not going to happen, and we have to use the quadratic formula, which I hope you've memorized. Fortunately, I have it memorized, and we'll do the example from here. So we know the quadratic formula says that for any equation in any quadratic formula equation in standard form, x is equal to minus b plus minus, and you're going to have b squared minus 4a times c. And this is all under a square root, and all of this is divided by 2 times a, where the coefficient in front of x squared is a, that's b, and that is c. So in this case, a is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 2. Remember, you've got to take that sign with you. It is the whole thing in front of there, negative 2. And c is equal to 7. So we're going to substitute these into the quadratic formula, and then we are going to simplify until we reach, hopefully, something nice. So let's do that. Let's start over here. We're going to get x equals negative, and then since b is negative 2, I just put negative 2, plus minus the square root of, and then negative 2 squared minus 4 times 1 times c, which is 7. Like this. We're probably going to have to scroll down a little bit. There we go. Okay, all of this is going to be divided by 2 times a, which again is 1. Okay, and we just continue to proceed from here. So let's simplify this a little bit. We have x equals, well, minus 2 times minus 2 minus minus 2 is positive 2 plus minus, and this is the square root of minus 2 times minus 2 is positive 4, minus 4 times 1 times 7 is 28, all over the square root of 2. Okay, now we'll simplify this a little bit. X equals, again, 2 plus minus the square root of, this is negative 24, again over 2. I just changed the stuff inside the root. For the next step, we're going to simplify this part under the square root. So x equals 2 plus minus, and then I'm going to pull out the I. Now I can write everything inside the square root as positive. And I'm going to note that 24 is actually equal to the square root of 4 times the square root of 6. So square root of 4 times square root of 6 equals square root of 24, and that I accounts for the negative. and then all that over 2, right? So here I see that x equals 2 plus minus I, that's a plus, that's an I. Square root of 4, of course, is 2. Square root of 6, I cannot simplify that, so I leave it as square root of 6, and everything is divided by 2. Okay, now we're in the last step. And the last step of this is our answer. X equals, we can simplify this, 2 divided by 2 is 1, plus minus. Again, 2 divided by 2 is 1, so it's just I times the square root of 6. And that is the answer.